Thank you for joining me again in the process session. We're talking about the 7 enablers of business process management. We've spoken about process architecture, how to build it, what to do with it. We've spoken about how to put measures around it and why it's important to put measures around a process, otherwise you can't measure how it is performing. Today we're going to talk about governance. Governance is the organization of management. How do we manage our business processes? What is the best structure in our organization or in yours? And for every organization it will be slightly different because you have different cultures. However, I think the prime role is understanding what is a process owner. So the process owner is not the person that can control the process, that has the ability to throw people at it or take people away from it or put systems in to support it. The process owner should be the person who sets the right measures of any process or its sub-processes. So once a process is decomposed to a set of number of measures, he is the one that defines what that should be, and that's influenced by external contexts of the environment or internal performance issues. Once he understands what that measure should be, he then sets a benchmark or a target to which the actual process should be performing at. Once he knows that, he starts to monitor that process to ensure that it is performing according to how it has been designed. And if it goes out of the control for which it's supposed to be achieving, he needs to respond accordingly. He needs to determine what needs to be done, and then it's his responsibility or her responsibility to communicate that to a steering committee or an executive management group, some group that has the influence over the organizational people that perform the various processes within or sub-processes within the organization. He does not control the people, but he needs to be able to influence them. That is his role, to monitor, set targets, respond accordingly so that the process is changed, or the people that support it or the systems that support it are changed accordingly to drive it in the direction it needs to go, determined by what he has set in the first place. That all lives nice and neatly in your process architecture so that yet again everybody can see what the processes are doing, how they're performing, what targets they need to be setting. That is fundamentally process ownership. So they are strategic, not clerical. They establish the measures and targets so that people can respond accordingly. They mind that gap between target and actual performance and tweak and change things, influence things to ensure that that process is performing the way it is designed, and that changes over time. So he's always responding to setting new targets to align with how it should be responding. So all in all, he would be summed up as being the voice of the process. That is what I believe is one of the key essence of process governance. Not only the more traditional understanding of putting rules and structures in place to govern the business processes, but really how does a person respond to it to get it to achieve what it's meant to achieve. So thank you for joining me on process governance. Next week we will talk about process change.